Hello and welcome back to the iFox with Juice podcast. I'm your host, Juice, and I'm here with my co-host, the 7 straight losses to my BJ Penn, Reen. What's happening?
Dude, I didn't even watch that fight. I couldn't. I'm just being upfront.
We didn't talk about it last week because we thought it was depressing in all the right and wrong ways. But we did kind of interact on Twitter a bit that night after that fight, so that's the reason I opened it up with that. I really didn't want to talk about it much, but since you commented on it, I just figured to kind of get your take on it.
No, I didn't watch it. So, I heard he did good. He didn't get knocked out or anything, but...
That's the standard. As so long as he doesn't get knocked out, it's all good, right?
Yeah, but so I didn't want to watch this still. Like, I'm good.
I know everyone's been talking about the 7 straight losses and hasn't won in almost 10 years and stuff. Here's the thing that nobody tells you. He's actually, it's not even just 7 straight losses. He's winless in 8 fights. The loss before the streak, the fight before the streak was a draw to John Fitch. So in his past 8 fights, he hasn't won.
I don't know. I mean, since he did fairly well, does this mean that he's going to continue to fight?
Well, that's everyone's fear, and he basically confirmed as much. It's like, hey, I'm not getting destroyed. I'm not getting knocked out. And as you just said, like, you know, he didn't get brutally knocked out. So that's good enough to like, hey, my brain's kind of there. I can still do this, kind of, I guess, sort of.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's his choice if he wants to fight or not, I guess. And it's my choice not to watch. So I don't want to. I won't anymore.
I mean, I guess it'd be fair to say live and let live, but in this case, I don't know if we're really letting BJ live here.
It's just crazy to me, like that. I mean, he's clearly doing this because it helps him outside the cage with whatever he has going on. But the UFC won't step in and say, hey, man, maybe we should help you out with what you're dealing with outside the cage.
And that's more or less what I want to say. That's more or less what you commented on Saturday. I believe that was the little back and forth that we had. And I can't say I disagree with you. It's a really fucked up situation that he's in, and even more so for his family. Way more so for his family. But I feel like, what can they really do? But at the same time, it's like, at least try. Yeah, I guess I do side with you somewhat on that.
I mean, they tried with Tony. Is it because he's a money maker that he's doing that? Or I mean, that the UFC's doing that?
Yeah, I'm going to argue that it's proven that BJ Penn was a moneymaker in his prime, way more than Tony, because Tony hasn't proved that. But I don't know if it's a contendership status. I don't know if it's because we all kind of thought, you know, no offense, I don't mean this in any pejorative way, but that Tony was a little crazy, as we can tell from his interviews and his dancing and all the weird shit he'd do. Like, kind of made sense that he kind of went off the deep end. But I know nobody really wants to say that BJ's a bad guy. We don't want to go that Matt Hughes route with him. And I mean, even when it showed in the book that Matt Hughes was a piece of shit, people are still kind of making excuses for him, and it seems like a lot of people are defending BJ as well. I don't really have the biggest opinion of it. It's just like, the only thing that really bothers me is that the UFC is like, it's obvious that they won't let him go just because they don't want him to go to Bellator and sell out Aloha Stadium in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Like, they're just holding him hostage and then still allowing him to fight and not really taking care of him in the long run.
One last thing I'll say about this too, it seems like a lot of people, I don't know why, but it seems like a lot of people are kind of defending Dana because a lot of people are like, well, why hasn't he cut him, or why won't he let him go, or why wouldn't he? And then people bring up that Bellator thing, which is true, but I also wonder if he just, you know, I don't understand how Dana wouldn't have the same thing with him that he would with Chuck. Like, hey, you know, he's a legend. He doesn't deserve to go through all this. I don't want to book him anymore. And it's obvious he was way more close with Chuck than he was with BJ. But the other thing is, too, BJ was the original Connor in a way of like, fuck you, pay me. You know, he basically he left the UFC once he started getting on a bit of a streak, and then he went to other promotions. Then he made his own promotion. Like he wasn't gonna be around to be getting taken advantage of. Getting he didn't want to get taken advantage of, and I wonder if Dana's always kind of held that grudge because he tends to hold grudges.
That might be it, man. I keep forgetting about all that.
I mean, it's like ancient history at this point, but I think it's a good point to be made.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, moving on from that depressing shit. Well, we're gonna review 237. We're gonna review UFC 237. A lot went on. We're gonna preview UFC Rochester and not go over so much news because there wasn't too much, but we're gonna talk some matchups. So we're gonna get into it. Some of the fights and picks we had last week. Irene Aldana, Betch Correia. Betch ended up missing weight by 6 pounds. A lot of speculation as to why that is. I'm of the opinion I don't want it to be that she just pulled a Mackenzie Dern and just said fuck it, especially in her home country, but you never know. But either way, I'm of the opinion that she was hurt in some way. But regardless, it was a good fight, and then that armbar at the end, damn. People sleep on Aldana's submissions. I've been telling people for a long time that she's not just a boxer, but what did you think of the fight, Reen? What did you think of Betch's performance, I guess?
Man, that first round was really like tough to watch. She couldn't reach her at all,
Reen, it's not all about reach. Hey, she kicked the fuck out of Aldana's leg. You got to give her that.
Okay.
Aldana's my girl, but she did kick the shit out of her, and she got some
Yeah.
meaty legs, so that should hurt.
And yeah, so it's just I don't really like Betch Correia. I don't even understand why she's there. And yeah, like I don't understand how she missed weight. I mean, she's in her own backyard. Maybe she was hurt. We don't know. Maybe she's on her period. I don't know. Maybe maybe something happened. She got in a fight with her boyfriend. Who knows? But very unprofessional. You know what I mean? She came in at 141, right?
Yep.
So Sean Ross Sapp is somebody that I listen to. He's from Fightful MMA and boxing. He said Aline Aldana tapped out a featherweight in Betch Correia. And that cracked me up because, how big she is. She went in there at 141. And he went on to say that she's not good. She shouldn't be ranked and sure the hell shouldn't have been on this main card fight. And shouldn't even been at this fight in the first place. So he pretty much has this, same opinion as I do. Like, I don't understand why she's still around. She's only relevant because of the fight that she had with Ronda and the two horsewomen that she fought and beat, Shayna Baszler and Jessamine Duke. Because what else has she really done? She got head kicked by Holly Holm. I guess that's something relevant that happened. But, I mean, what's next for her?
I've never been a Betch fan, and I don't know if you followed me on Twitter or seen some of my comments. It may kind of seem like I am. I just respect her. I don't know. She has a very weird thing about her. I don't know how. Ronda was a different story. Obviously, that was a showcase fight. That was always going to end the way that it ended. But if you look at everyone else, she has some somewhat impressive wins, some tough losses, whatever you want to say. But she has this very innate ability to make women fight not their fight. And even with Aldana, that was the case. She was getting pieced up for a few minutes there. And it's just interesting. I'm like, I don't know how she does that. Unless Dana's paying all these girls to fucking look bad against her, I don't know how she does it. But even Holly, people forget that was a boring ass fight. Holly wanted to do nothing. And I understand that, it's something new that Holly has a boring fight here and there. But she's at least active. She misses a lot. She should throw a bunch of key-eyeing strikes and she misses. But against Betch, she didn't want to do anything. And nothing happened up until that head kick. But if you were really, really scoring it, I would make a case that she was actually winning that fight. Well, it was the second round, so I guess the first round she might have won. It's not the most entertaining thing in the world, but I commend her ability to do it because I don't want to say it's easy. I don't know what she's doing, but whatever she's doing is working to some extent because she should be getting slaughtered. You're right. She's not the greatest athlete. She's kind of short, a bit of a weird build, but somehow she always has these close fights. And even Aldana, some people thought she was losing up until she got that armbar. So
yeah, it's bizarre. He actually made that same kind of type of comment too. Like, why are they fighting her fight like that?
I honestly think that she hits hard. I mean, she's not Cyborg, she's not Nunes, she's not gonna knock you dead with one strike. But I think there's certain guys. Just to reiterate once again with the Clay Guida BJ Penn fight, he said like, man, he throws like he's got fucking rocks in his hands. You know, there's some people that they're not gonna knock you out, but when they throw, like, goddamn, it hits you and it hits you. It feels different, you know. So I think she does have some power, not one punch knockout power, but some power that makes you think twice, you know.
Yeah, and I've heard other people mention it too. That yeah, I like her type of fighting style. She's a brawler. She can mix it up like that. She's a brawler. You know, she'll get in, and if you allow her to get in, she's gonna like scrap with you. Why? Like, there's really no talent there. She's just gonna walk in and get hit, and then what?
Well, you better keep hitting her.
Right? Like, I don't know. She just bores me to death. And yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad she like got hit with that sub, because you're right. I think she was winning that fight.
And then the way, I mean, I know it didn't end well for most Brazilians that night, but the judges seem to be doing their job adequately. But who knows? Maybe there's a few guys in that, you know, that judge row that liked her fucking twerking on her ass, so they could have given her a few scorecards. You know, why not?
Dude, I'm so glad. That's another reason why I'm so glad she lost, because
Hey! You take it easy there, lady.
we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, unfortunately. There's always one good thing about a Betchko Hea win. And it's not
Yeah.
the fact that she gets her hand raised.
Yeah. Goodness.
So selfish, just thinking about yourself.
Sorry. Like, I just remember, like, isn't it John Anik, like, sitting there, like, so uncomfortable when she starts to twerk?
I don't think so. I'm sure he enjoys it.
Oh, God. So crazy, man. But I don't know what's going to happen with her. Like, do you think they'll release her and have her go to Invicta, or what? What do you think? They'll keep her around just because the division needs her, from what she's saying?
It's interesting. We're gonna talk about some news later on about, well, actually, one of the girls on, two of the girls on the Rochester card this weekend have been going up. It seems like some girls are going up right now. So if they cut her, I guess I wouldn't be that surprised. But maybe they want to get a few more fights out of her to build some contenders. I can see either scenario working out. I mean, she's not like on the biggest losing streak, for God's sakes. Fucking BJ's still there. But
Yeah. Well, she's relevant because she got face planted on that straight out of Compton ad too. So
yeah. And honestly, I know you don't like her. I know you're shitting on her, but honestly, I think that she went to Invicta. I really think she'll beat most girls. I mean, I don't want to say she'll become champion straight off the top and she's gonna have this crazy renaissance or whatever, but I do think she will beat most women, if not all. I
yeah,
think she does have she has tricks, and I never say that as an insult, but tricky fighters are obviously tricky to deal with. So
yeah,
I I think she could still beat a lot of girls, especially on the lower level.
yeah. I don't doubt that, but it's just her style, man. I don't dig it.
You're too well. You're a purist. You should appreciate it, but for some reason you don't. It's the ass, Reen. Just say it. You don't like it. You don't like her gyrating. You don't like her.
Okay,
It's
fine.
too Brazilian for you.
I got my Asian flat ass, so I'm very, very like jealous.
Well,
Gotta
at
do
least
more
you're honest.
squats.
More squats. There can always be improvement, as we all know. Anyway, okay, so I don't know. It seemed like this was the co-main event for some reason. I guess just because the way the co-main event ended. But um, Volkanovski and Aldo. Aldo said this is possibly his worst performance ever, and he seemed very down on himself about it. And a lot of people said this is Volkanovski's best performance ever. I mean, it's definitely his biggest name. I still think the Chad Mendes win is more impressive because of the way he pulled it off. But I gotta commend. Sorry, I wish I knew his last name. Eugene, Israel Adesanya's coach, which is also Volkanovski's coach. He's a very bright man. I think he picked up on something with those inside leg kicks. I've never seen too many people throw those against Aldo, especially over the course of a 3-round fight. He kept throwing them, and I think that really threw Aldo off. I think it threw off his timing, his rhythm, and I'm not sure if they really hurt him or not, but at the very least they annoyed him, and I think it clearly annoyed him to the point where he didn't have his thoughts together, and he was hesitant to pull the trigger. Do you think it was a thing of, the issue of good game planning, or do you think Aldo really is losing a step?
I don't know, man. It's just crazy to see him beat Moicano the way he did, and then coming into this fight, it's like, when are you going to engage? What are you going to do? When are you going to pull the trigger? It just seemed like he was waiting and waiting for the right opportunity to hit him with the body shot, or knock him out somehow. It's just so strange watching that fight. I mean, game plan if it is. I'm not trying to knock Alexander's win or anything, but it's just wow. I didn't know what I was watching. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You're in your backyard, and this is what you're gonna do for your people. This is what you're gonna showcase. And I went for Aldo. The last time I didn't go for Aldo. See what happens
Yeah, we
when I
we both didn't with Marcano. We neither of us went with Aldo.
man, like when I'm back on that Aldo wagon, it's like, no, man, he didn't step up again. Like, so yeah, it's just strange. And he has one more fight on his contract, so I wonder what he's gonna do. I wonder if he's gonna stay at 145, or is he gonna move up and take whatever fight and just finish his contract out? Because why cut weight like that anymore? What's the point?
I mean, I guess and I know you've commented on it before if we're talking about his last fight, because it's only one loss and it seems like he is intent on retiring. I guess we're at the point now we're thinking about what's going to be his final fight. I guess it'd be good if he fought Aldo, but I know Aldo's not going to give him that shot. And then who knows, with the way he looked, maybe it can end similarly to the first one. But I really wonder, and we're going to talk about him later, but I really wonder, I think a good fight would be someone like Justin Gaethje. No, I'm kidding. Someone like,
You want to see a murder? Oh my god!
no, I don't hate Aldo that much. But no, it'd be, I think a fun fight would be like Nate Diaz, and I think that's a fight that could benefit both of them. Although I'm not sure if Nate's really trying to go down to 155 anymore. I don't know. But I think it could be interesting. I'd want to
This
see something like that. Something just out of the ordinary, not exactly a super fight because he's not a
mhm.
champion, but an intriguing fight, I guess, quote unquote, money fight.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, they don't really have any beef, so I think they would have to create some sort of beef and storyline if they do like a Aldo like Nate Diaz fight.
Oh, Nate's gonna talk some shit. He ain't gonna back down for nobody. Or I mean, we could always feed him BJ. Fuck it, let's get it over
Oh,
with.
that's true that,
Let's
huh?
let's, let's take out old Yeller into Puppy Lake.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen with him because he's always like, yeah, I want to be a soccer player. I want to do this. I want to do that.
Boxer.
Yeah, he has all these things in his mind, and it's like, well, do you want to be a fighter or not? Is this the reason why you didn't perform in front of all your people? Like you're supposed to step up after that huge win over Moicano, and this is what you give us? Like, what's up, Aldo? Like, what's going on?
He's got that
So,
burger spot to fall back on. I think his place is literally called Famous Burgers.
really, that's so
I think,
original.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like he exactly speaks English, but I just
Yeah,
find it funny.
so original. But hey, man, I mean, if he is going to just take this last fight and that's it, then thank you for all the great memories. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I really hope they just give him a good one. Something that's just not going to be, oh, here's another marginal or like top 10 contenders. Let's use them to springboard them. I'm
yeah,
usually okay with that in most cases, but it's like just give him a fight that's going to be enjoyable for all of us. He wants to fight in Brazil again anyway, so just give him a fight that doesn't have to be a winnable fight, but to try and make it an exciting one. Like I think to this day the best retirement fight ever was uh Chris Lytle. I don't know if you remember when he retired, Chris Lytle versus Dan Hardy. Do you remember that fight?
no, I don't remember it.
It was excellent because Chris Lytle was a fireman. He always fought basically part time, and he was saying like I don't know how much I have left in me. I just want some good fights. And Dan Hardy was like one of the most exciting fighters at that time. And Dan Hardy's like, well, fuck it, I'll fight you. It's good for me too, and he ended up submitting him in the third round in like the last minute, like in a fight that he was winning, and he retired on a win against a guy that everybody loved, and he had a great speech at the end of it. I think it was in his hometown, and he said, I love fighting more than anything in the world, except for one thing, and that's my family. And he had his family in the ring, and he put his gloves down and he said, thank you for everything, and he retired. Yeah, like I'd love to see something like that. I don't think that's ever been replicated again. But I always wish when guys retire, I'm like, man, I wish that was the scenario for everybody.
Yeah, that would be nice, especially with Aldo. Like, he's not that like king anymore. It's sad to see him, man. That decline since I don't even want to talk about him. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Not saying his name.
It's okay, we don't have to. But yeah, I really wonder how much he paid off that fan that fucking blew that poison dart at Alex Volkanovski.
What the hell is going on with him? I can't believe that. So he's dying, right? Is he dying?
He's out. Last I checked, he had to those who don't know, he had a blood infection. I think it was a day or two after the fight. I think he was on his way home, and it's like he for some reason he went to Chile. I guess probably didn't trust them Brazilians to go a few countries over. But yeah, he had a blood infection, and it seemed pretty severe. It seems like he's in stable condition now. I don't know when he's gonna head home, but yeah, man. Especially, I mean, I don't know how much the difference is, but I know in the States, most flights to Rio are like 12, 14 hours. I don't know how much longer it'll be from Brazil to New Zealand. That's damn. That's gotta suck.
Damn, dude.
But he seems okay now. But yeah, I mean, he's all so happy. He has the biggest win in his career, and all of a sudden he gets deathly ill.
Wow. Okay, so that's great that they have him in stable condition. That's so wild, man. Should
Telling
be
you
going
though,
down, dude. South
there was,
America.
there was some dude in the crowd just.
Stupid. Oh man.
He wasn't aware.
You never know, dude.
So racist. Anyway, speaking of racism, Jared Cannonier beat the fuck out of Anderson Silva. And man, I mean, kicks are just no longer Anderson's friend, man. He took some hard inside leg kicks and some outside ones, but a big inside leg kick did him in the second round. And it seems like he did not get severely injured. He did not tear anything. It's just like a physiotherapy thing, so he says. But the
Crazy.
Brazilians weren't having that shit.
Crazy. He didn't look too bad that first round. He didn't look bad at all, and just I didn't like those leg kicks. I was like, oh god.
That's a big dude, man. I mean, even if he doesn't, he throws them with good technique. But even if he didn't, that shit's gonna hurt.
Right? Like, oh, that's like you're old man. You know, you have that nasty ass snap.
Yep.
Your leg got snapped. Like it still can't be good. And
I don't know if it's any better or worse that it was the right leg. It wasn't the left leg that he broke against Weidman. I mean, I don't know if that made him feel better. Maybe he feels worse. It's like, fuck, they're both fucked up now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you had the same thought that I did right when that happened. Like, oh fuck, he broke it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck, dude.
I was ready to turn away from the TV. I'm like, no, they're gonna show it in slow mo. I don't need to see that shit again. They're gonna show the fucking the whip around the fucking calf of Cannon. I don't need to see that shit.
Yeah. So Silva talked to TMZ recently and said that he's not going to stop fighting, and he asked Dana White about a rematch with Jared.
Wow, really? Damn, he's a brave motherfucker.
I'm like, why? I'm like, you're another one. Please stop. Hey, how about him and BJ Penn like do a super fight?
BJ loves eating, and he fought Machida at 190, so fuck it, let him have it.
Yeah, let's just do that instead of, Silva versus that one dude that I don't want to say his name.
And BJ, I mean, man, there's more than I wanted to talk about him, but either way, still, I mean, he'd be willing to do it. He for sure would. I mean, for shits and giggles, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, like seriously, no, don't go with Jared. I don't want you to break anything this time. Like you're getting old and brittle. Like no, your body's not the same anymore. You're not a young guy. Let's not do that.
And Usada's on your ass too.
Yeah, I commend you for being brave and you want to step up again, but no more. I'm done with you. Thank you very much. No more, please.
You're cutting him off.
He's another one I have to be like, peace, I'm done. Like, no more. I can't watch your fights anymore. Makes me sad.
You know what's crazy is that there's so many cans at 185. Okay, I don't want to be disrespectful. There's not many cans in the UFC. If you get to the UFC, you're halfway decent. But 185 is not like the deepest division. It's not like the thing with BJ that sucks so bad is that he's been fighting at 155. I mean, you could get a newcomer at 155 that could fuck him up because 155 is the most talented division in MMA. 185, you get some former failed athletes, you get Sam Alvey type motherfuckers, you get Tim Bosch, you get like just these kind of dad body, average Joe Schmo type guys. Like, tell me you can't find one of these dudes that will take a fight with Anderson that will most likely not fuck him up.
Well, they somehow got a CM Punk to come over, right? Any wrestlers want to step up and fight the GOAT? Anybody want to come over? I mean, we got Jack Swagger and Bellator that fought a can.
Don't you disrespect that guy that way. He fought his ass off. He's MMA Twitter encapsulated in a person.
I heard that
for all of us.
I heard that he got a lot of followers. A lot of people actually got behind him. So good for that guy that stepped up and fought him. And yeah.
Shit, I don't think I follow him, but if I don't, I'm gonna do my due diligence and follow him after this. He's a brave dude.
What's his name? Kaiser? I forgot his first name.
TJ? I think it's TJ.
Yeah, TJ is the one that he fought. Yeah, TJ Jones is the one he fought. But the guy that fought Jack Swagger previously was another can. He is calling out TJ now. So
who?
The first guy that Jack Swagger fought.
Oh, so it's like CM Punk, Mike Jackson type shit? Like, you lost, I lost, let's go for it?
Yeah, so...
I love MMA.
Yeah, so he tweeted out like, it just depends on what my bosses want me to do. And he like tagged like Scott Coker and his management team and whatever. So like he's making a name for himself, which is cool. Like he had a really great attitude about it. And I think he has like 6 kids or something.
God damn, boy.
Yeah, so I mean he's like some like just regular guy, training here and there and raising all these kids, and he works in a plant or something.
Is he part Mexican?
No, he's
or maybe his wife's Mexican. We don't know.
Maybe. Who knows, man?
I have questions. Props to that guy, man. Anyway, with the original going on with my racism, as we were saying with Cannonier, I mean, I don't know if you caught his post-fight interview, but yeah, he was, he said in the octagon that he doesn't respect the crowd because they don't respect him, but he said, like, man, they're speaking Portuguese. I don't know what to tell me. They could be calling me the N-word. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, yes, dude. Yes, they are. Yes, they fucking are, man. Maybe you should be happy you don't speak Portuguese because I don't even want to know half the things they're saying to you. But I think he handled it well, man. I liked him before this. As I said, just a black dude in Alaska. Got to give props. But I'm actually a fan of his. I think he fought well, obviously, and I think he handled it very well. I don't think you can handle it much better than that.
Right? Like his missing bag, the hostile crowd, like the fan favorite, like all this shit that went down.
And I remember his family, he was saying in the embedded too, it wasn't just his bag, that his wife got sick, and then I think he said his dog got sick. Like shit was all fucked up back home.
Yeah, all kinds of shit was happening. And then that little girl on Embedded was telling him, like, you're not the best fighter in the world. And he looked clearly pissed off with this little girl. So, yeah. I'm a fan too. I thought he did great with that interview too. He's just sitting there like, okay, what's up?
And then he said, I think, yeah, it was also on the press conference that he had a detached rib.
Yeah, I did hear that. And he could have pulled out or something in the fight, or he was scared that they might.
Yeah, because he said it was basically his last training day. It was a week before the fight. And yeah, like a takedown or something, and he detached the cartilage, which is kind of a common injury, but extremely painful from what I hear. And the craziest thing to me is that Anderson kicked him in the body, and maybe he didn't kick him on that side, but I don't care even if he didn't. That still got to hurt like a motherfucker, and that's got to scare the shit out of you. And he took it, man. It's not like he didn't get touched up in this fight, but I mean, he really did some damage on Anderson.
Dude, I wonder what's next for him. Like, he's ranked number 10. He there's really no movement for him, but I wonder what's going to be next.
Jacare?
Oh.
I mean, that's a fight I could see Jacare winning so long as I don't think he's that spent. That was a good third round against Hermanson. I think he could still pull it off. And
Oh,
Cannonier, I mean, I know he's a big dude, but I don't know how good he is on the floor.
or Weidman.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's
Oh,
still
I
in
really
the
talking
mix.
about. Yeah, but yeah, fuck it. Give him Weidman. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I guess.
Yeah,
Fuck
it
it.
could be. It could be an ass beating.
They both fucked up Homeboy's leg. All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see who's gonna whip some ass now. Good name to throw in there. But yeah, that was a culminant event that had everyone feeling sad, and then the main event had everyone feeling. It fucked everyone up. Let's just be honest. It fucked everything and everyone up.
Dude, I thought she died. I
And you
thought she was.
weren't alone in that.
I thought she was paralyzed. I was in shock.
The only people that weren't concerned was the Brazilian crowd. And to be fair, I don't blame them. I mean, their girl just won. It was basically like the only one win they had that night. But
Yeah.
I showed this fight to my girlfriend a few days after the fact because she didn't see it live. She knew nothing about it, and I showed it to her, and she brought up a good point because I was so shocked by it. I didn't even know what to think. But like 5 seconds after they called the fight, she's like, "Wait, they put her in a stretcher? Did they stabilize her? Did they put her in a brace?" And I just stood silent, like, shit, that'd probably be a good idea, huh?
I was wondering the same thing. Like, what is she doing an interview after her fight? What was she going? Why is she at a post fight interview? Like, she got slammed on her head, like her neck. Like, I can't. I don't want to picture it anymore. It's like, oh, I can't. That was gruesome to watch. I still can't watch the replay.
Maybe I'm being too kind to Dana here. I know he wasn't there that night. I want to say that maybe that's the reason he wasn't there. You know, the big boss wasn't there to say, hey, you know, he probably knows better. Like, hey, don't be interviewing her. Get her out of here, please. Someone have her checked out. I mean, I don't think he should have that kind of say because he's not a doctor. But maybe who knows if Dana was there, maybe he would have made sure that. I was just more concerned with the commission. Like, come on, that there's something going on here. I think they should have really had her resting. And I mean, it was just good that she got up pretty quick and started talking to Pat Barry and Trevor Whitman and stuff. Obviously, she wasn't severely hurt, but yeah, I don't think it was good to have that interview.
I mean, she was. Oh man, when her head, her neck hit the canvas like that, and she was like out immediately. I was like, holy shit, is she okay? That's the first thing that like I was like, oh, is she alive? Like, what's going on with her? I was like, kind of freaking out.
So, do you still want to date Jessica?
She scares me. I'm like,
It turned you
damn,
off now.
a little bit, man. I don't want to touch her ass anymore. I don't know what she's gonna do to me. Um,
Yeah, we'll see
God,
how those arguments go.
damn, dude. Like, if you're stronger than me, I don't want to date you. I really don't.
Man or woman, right?
No, man, I'm good. Like crazy, man.
No,
Yeah, it's just insane how she came down on her head like that.
it's
I mean, she looked great though. Didn't like the first round? She looked great.
oh, she looks that may have been, and I'm not exaggerating here. I've always said that GSP's win over Matt Hughes, the second fight, may be the finest display of martial arts, of mixed martial arts, like as far as hitting and not getting hit, doing what you want and not getting, you know, taking damage. I think the first round of that fight was up, you know, was near that level of just complete utter domination, doing everything you want and not taking any damage in the process, having an answer to every move that she's doing. And I understand a lot of people want the rematch because she looks so spectacular, but the truth is, I'm not saying that this fight is unwinnable for Rose and that if they fought 100 times that she wouldn't win even 50. I don't know, but all I know is that Jessica Andrade is the physical manifestation of most people's worst fears, but probably Rose's. You know, she's you know she doesn't like being in big crowds. She doesn't like that attention. It's too she gets anxious. It's like well she suffocates you. You feel like you're in a riot fighting her, and she doesn't stop, and she doesn't get hurt, and she's just bull strong. Like it's like I said, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's just a really bad matchup, and I don't know how many times I'd favor her.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, especially with the way she's talking, the way Rose was talking. Like, yeah, I wasn't really there. I was being lazy. That's the reason why I got slammed on my head. You know, she's talking about, I don't know if I want to do this anymore and this and that. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, so I guess we're not going to have a rematch. But even in the post fight conference, you know, the interview, she's like, well, I kind of want my belt back too. It's like, well, shit, then what is it? What do you want to do? And that's the reason why I was like, I didn't want her to do an interview at that time because she's an emotional person.
You know what, Reen? Like, you're right. And to clarify, it's not that I'm speaking for Reen, but we've talked at length, and we know each other well enough to know what we're saying. This is a conversation between us, but for you guys, we're not saying that she's weak and that she cries at every single thing, and that it's none of that. She literally is just emotional. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and Reen and I, and as I'm sure many of you, love her for it. And me personally, I don't think she was like just babbling on. I really think she meant everything she said. I think she did mean that she probably doesn't want to fight so much anymore. And I think she does mean that she wants her belt back because she's a competitor and she's a martial artist. She still wants to be the best, but I'm kind of the opinion that she may get a title shot. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I feel that I think she only has a handful of fights left in her, like literally, like five or less.
Yeah, well, I'll be happy if she did step away. If that's what she really wants to do and, have a farm like Rhonda, go for it, girl. You don't have to prove anything anymore. She's been fighting since she was a little kid. She's been training since she
Yeah.
was little. So, I mean, that was great. Thank you very much for, the entertaining fight. But if that's what you want to do, especially if it's hurting your relationship too, it's either continue with the same coach, your significant other in your corner and continue to do this, or just leave. Just be happy. Do what you want to do. Travel the world, do your blogs, grow your little plants. If you're not in it anymore, if your heart's not in it anymore, then don't do it. Protect yourself. That's what they say all the time. Protect yourself at all costs. I mean, you really have to think about that and do that.
Her situation kind of reminds me of the GSP situation, after the Johnny Hendricks fight. Like, I want to take some time off. Everybody was like, what the fuck is he talking about? What do you mean take time off? You're the champion. You can't. Obviously he lost. Well, he technically won that fight and Rose lost her belt, but it's kind of like, yeah, what do you mean? I mean, it's not like you were getting your ass kicked. You just had one bad moment. But yeah, I really think fighting just takes a toll on her. I think, like you said, she's been doing it since she was young. I sincerely believe that she loves martial arts. I believe she could be 60 years old and still, be hitting the speed bag or, jogging. And I think she's going to always be fit. I don't think she trains just because she has to. I think she's like an active person. She likes the outdoors. I don't think Rose is a girl you're going to worry about, losing it and getting fat as soon as she retires. But the fighting part of it, like I tweeted that night and I said it kind of jokingly but like I also kind of noticed something. I think with Joanna, I said before the first fight she's gonna fuck her up because of what she said and did. I knew that she had a lot of pent up, maybe even hatred towards her when that cage door locked. But Jessica, I think she obviously respected her. I think she'd be lying if she said she didn't fear her a little bit in one way or another. She knew the power that she has and obviously the strength that she has. But I think that whole giving her the roast thing, man, I mean, they were so respectful this whole time. Not one bad word was said one way or the other. And I think that also kind of fucked with her. Like, I don't have a reason to be, like, she probably liked her, like, I like this girl. But Jessica's fucking ruthless in there. She doesn't, I'm sure, I'm sure she could fight her best friend that way, She's just that kind of person. When the cage door locks, it's war mode, and I think she's kind of like the anti-cowboy in that way. Not that she has to hate her opponent, but cowboy needs to be kind of, at least old cowboy needed to be friendly with you to like fuck you up. I think when you're cool with Rose, she kind of gets a little, I think she's a nice person, doesn't really, really want to hurt you.
Right. Yeah. What did you say last time about
About,
the champions now? They're all gay.
yeah, 75% of the women's champions are gay. Brazilian gay women in a country that, in which the leader hates them.
Yeah. I wonder what they're gonna do. I wonder how they're gonna market Jessica now.
One thing she did say, I don't know if you caught this. I believe it was also at the press post fight presser. She said that She didn't say anything about. I don't think she'll leave her team. She has them tattooed on her forearm, for God's sakes. But she did say she wanted to spend some time in the States. She said that she wants to learn English. She said, she's like, I know a lot of foreigners and Americans like me, and I know they're complimenting me. They want to take pictures, and I always just say like hi and thank you because I don't really know English, and I want to be able to speak to the camera to have an interview, but I also want to be able to talk to the fans because I know Brazil is not the only place that I have fans.
Yeah, good for her. Did she say where?
No. And like I said, I don't think she's a thing of like, oh, I'm gonna move to ATT and get a big, I think she just wants to, you know, I mean, obviously she can learn English in Brazil too, but yeah, she said that she wants to do something here too, and I'm like, shit, props, man. Go the Claudia Gadelia, Thiago Alves route. Just start watching a fuckload of movies. They said that's how they started watching. They started learning English.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, props to her, man. I've always I never understood it when I first started watching MMA of why people brought this up of like they don't speak English. Coming up in boxing, most of the boxers I liked didn't speak English. Most of my favorite fighters were Mexican or Puerto Rican, and they didn't speak English and they didn't give a fuck to speak English. Like, hey, I'm Mexican. That's where I'm from. That's where I live. And if you don't like that I speak English, suck my dick. But something's up with, I guess, because MMA started here in the States, the UFC started here in the States, that we want people to speak English. But like I never gave shit to Aldo because he didn't speak English. I thought that's cool. But I'm never gonna talk shit on the fighter that wants to learn the language, knowing the market. I think that's very admirable.
yeah. Man, she should come to Las Vegas. Come up to Las Vegas. Spend time at the Performance Institute. Hang out with Dana.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
And
Yep.
just help her, just get her out, market her, get her name out more, and see what they can do. I mean, because they're not really doing it with Amanda. So if Jessica's in their face more, maybe they'll do it. I don't know.
Yeah, and Amanda, speaking of her and ATT, because a Brazilian guy is one of the main leaders of it, for the foreign fighters, and especially since so many Brazilians are there, they require them to learn English at one point. So Monday you have your jiu-jitsu class, Thursday you have your kickboxing class, well, Friday you have an English class. Like it's part of the curriculum. I guess, because I don't know if he was an MMA fighter or not, but he knows, he knows what an advantage it is to learn the language. So he basically required all the Brazilians to learn English at some point. That's why most of them over there speak it.
That's a good move.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta admire that, especially that it's a guy, it's a Brazilian dude that came over here. Is like, yeah, it's gonna be so much easier for you if you learn this.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. I shouldn't shit on them anymore.
ATT?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had beef with them.
Sometimes.
They have amazing
Sometimes.
fighters.
They,
Poirier,
they, they do. They do.
Masvidal. Come on,
They do.
Nunes.
Definitely better than Wink.
I think so. Yeah, I think before you'd be crazy to say. Well, I don't know. I always liked Wink up until a few years ago, but I mean they still have some decent fighters. But yeah, they haven't evolved. And ATT is like every day. It seems like they're learning something new.
Yeah.
And none of their fighters are the same. Like you can look at somebody, you look at Karate Hot, and you're like, yeah, that's a Jackson Wink fighter. Holly Holm, yeah, that's a Jackson Wink fighter. John Jones, that's a Jackson Wink fighter. ATT, you have a crazy motherfucker like Poirier. You have Gilbert Burns. You got Nunes. They're totally, totally different fighters. None of them are the same.
Yeah. Maybe because I'm salty because Black Zillions had to like break up and dismantle.
Oh, you were a Black Zillions girl.
Well, I mean, because Tyrone Spawn and Rashad was there at one point, and then Rumble was there, and
Oh, I didn't know you were a Rashad fan.
yeah, Kamaru was there at one point. Yeah, the band broke up. Some of those guys are with Henry Hoof now.
I think most of them.
Are they all there now still? Like,
Well,
I know
Kamaru is. Um,
Kamaru, yeah.
I think Rumble, his last fight, I think they had broken up, but he was still with Hoofed. But then they
Yeah.
got Rockhold, so I mean everything comes with a price.
Yeah. Great. Great.
Okay. All right, on to the Rochester card. UFC Rochester's happening this weekend on ESPN Plus. We picked a
What?
few fights out. Huh?
What? 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 There's a fight?
Uh, I know it was. we picked a few fights out, and honestly, to be blunt, we were kind of grasping at straws at some of these, but the ones we did pick, I think, are very interesting. So we're gonna jump into that. So, Megan Anderson, your girl, versus Felicia Spencer. Come on, two actual featherweights are fighting.
I should be excited about it, right? But again, why should I invest in this?
Why? Because, well, the cyborg.
There's no like there's really no division. If you look at the UFC rankings page, I'm so happy that Amanda's picture's there, but where's the rest of the list of fighters? At least have Megan's name listed there too, and Chris Cyborg's, and the two other featherweights that
They
they
don't
just
have
signed.
Cyborg's name.
No,
Just Amanda.
I just see Amanda, featherweight, women's featherweight champion. It's just Amanda.
Just to go.
There's nobody else listed. Like,
Reen, you need to get at somebody at UFC. You're trying to do this fucking computer shit. This, come on, come on. You're telling me someone over there doesn't know what they're doing?
it's insane to me, man. Like, come on, at least. I mean, if you really look at it, they have maybe 8 possible fighters that they could list as a featherweight. They do. There's Kazingama, right? She did fight at featherweight. Holly Holm, right? Leah Letson, like she just came off the Contender Series, or no, Tough featherweights. She's not even listed. At least she stayed. She didn't drop down to bantamweight. She stayed as a featherweight.
Well, Penny is a bantamweight, but I don't know if she's gonna stay at featherweight. But yeah, she was the runner-up. Fucking Macy, I'm starting to get mad at Macy for dropping down, man. Macy Chazon, she should have stayed up there, man. And I know she was still at bantamweight, but still.
Yeah, and then finally they have Felicia Spencer, great. Duda Santana and Bay. What I can't say her last name. Those two gals will be fighting in June, but they don't have any. They don't have no one listed except for Amanda. So it's like, what's happening with this division? Are we going to invest? Is this all on Amanda?
Okay, had Cyborg won that fight, and I know you're not like salty that she lost, but I'm just saying, had she won that fight, would you feel differently about this fight? Because you know that Cyborg's gonna stay at featherweight, whereas Amanda, we don't fucking know.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like Megan was brought into the UFC to fight Chris.
Mm-hmm.
That should never happen. When is it going to happen? Why is she fighting this gal?
Well, you don't think the winner of this fight will probably? I mean, because I don't think Cyborg's getting that rematch. I mean, if she gets the rematch, then forget it. But I don't think she's gonna get it. So don't you think the winner of this fight is most likely gonna fight Cyborg? Because I don't think they're gonna give him a title shot unless they strip Amanda and they put Cyborg versus the winner. Then it's officially a title fight. That's a good scenario too. But
I hope they do, and I have my pick down as Anderson.
Damn.
So
shocker.
Yeah, I know.
Is it because you don't know much about Felicia?
Oh, well, I read up on her. I didn't read much of her fights.
Well, she's undefeated, and all her fights have been Invicta. So Invicta's not really known for giving like easy fights. They give the best fights that they can, reasonably speaking. But I don't know. I've just never really been much of a Spencer fan. I guess I find her kind of boring. I mean, she's not Julia Budd boring, but she's definitely talented. She's a good grappler. Can't believe I'm saying this, and especially since I met her. But I'm actually gonna go with Felicia Spencer here. Obviously, Megan has a advantage on the feet, but the thing is that some of her best strikes and where she actually does damage is in the clinch. I've never really seen her do much damage from distance, and I think Felicia's just gonna keep coming forward. So I think whether Megan gets the clinch on her, she's gonna have problems and probably get taken down. And if
she gets taken down,
well, Holly Holm, and Felicia Spencer.
Yeah, so she's a slight favorite. I've seen like all the betting odds and stuff, so that's another reason why I'm going with Anderson. But her height and reach advantage, she has all that. But she's so sketch, man. And then if she doesn't win, it's like, what's gonna happen? You're gonna give Spencer to Chris so she can get murdered? For what? So it's
Another,
like, this is a division where it's like, again, why do you want me to invest? How?
another reason I can't pick Megan too is the Holly fight. And it's not so much even that she lost that fight and that I can't erase that memory. It's the fact that when she fought Holly, it wasn't like she was coming off of like she made a last minute debut, then she just wasn't ready for her. Because that's what it looked like. But in actuality, she had a year and a half between fights.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because she disappeared. She called out Chris, and then next thing you know, she disappeared.
I don't know how you have an 18-month rest period. Well, I don't want to call it a rest period, but 18 months without fights, and you're not just, drilling your BJJ and your wrestling every day. I don't know how that's possible. And if she did, and if that's still the performance that came out, it worries me because she fought Cat in December. The Holly Holm fight is still, it's almost a year ago. It's not like it was that long ago. You're telling me that she's improved drastically in a year, where she couldn't, improve in a year and a half prior to the Holly fight. It just, I don't know. I just don't think she's ever going to get much better from that in that aspect of the game.
I know, man. She's so sketch, man. Oh, God. I guess she's doing better with the weight cut this time around. So hopefully that works to her advantage too.
I
But
hope she cuts her toenails.
God, I know that too. But just I don't know, man. If she doesn't win, then it's probably going to be bad for the division because I mean that's a tough sell. You're supposed to be that face too, and you haven't been really performing. So
Moving on. Charles Oliveira versus Nick Lentz, part 3. First one ended in a no contest. Second one, Oliveira submitted Lentz. And I have no reason to believe that the third one's going to go any different. He's basically been submitted twice by this dude already.
I know, like, why did they do this to him?
I,
I don't understand this fight. I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
No, I mean it is kind of laughable because it's very pointless. It's quite pointless, and very pointless at the same time. Oliver, man, I think he's like on a 3. I know he's on a good streak, but I think he's gone like 3 submissions in a row too. I mean, he's
4.
4. Oh, Jesus Christ! I mean,
He
dude's
finished
not
all.
stopping.
Yeah, he finished all his opponents by sub and got bonuses for each one. Performance of the night, dude. So I don't see that streak getting snapped. Not with Nick.
Especially against a guy you beat twice. I know the first fight's a no decision, but that should have been a win. I mean, it was because even if you don't count the finish of that fight, he was still winning before that. So I don't see anything of Lentz. If Lentz had some power, then okay, he can hurt him, he can drop him, and sometimes Oliveira kind of finds the way out every once in a while when he gets hit really, really hard. But he's a wrestler. You're gonna wrestle against Oliveira. Okay, good luck with that.
Well, and Oliveira, his striking is underrated. It's getting better and better, right? And he sets up those hands.
Yeah, I mean, he beat up David Taymor. I mean, he's a legit Muay Thai practitioner, and he fucked him up and
Yeah,
submitted him.
yeah. He hasn't seen a third round in the last 4 fights either. It's either a finish in the first or a second. So it's gonna be probably a quick finish with this one too.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm not a big fan of Lance, and I never thought much of his fighting style, and then his political beliefs are even fucking worse than that. So yeah, Oliver all the way.
Same.
Fucking info warrior Lance.
Oh man.
Anyway, Aspen Ladd versus Sajara Eubanks. This is a rematch. It was in Invicta the first time, and the first time I believe it was at flyweight. Now they're at bantamweight. Eubanks had to go up because she couldn't make weight. Ladd is still here despite usually not making weight. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I love women's MMA. I think everyone knows this. But this fight drives me up a fucking wall. The first fight was it was eye-opening because Ladd beat the fuck out of Eubanks in every aspect, striking and on the ground. It was incredible. It shows that Ladd had some hands. But now I'm just like, what's the point of this fight? Why did they book it? Are they going to make weight? Should they just both come in at fucking 140 pounds and say fuck it? I don't even know. Rain, I'm just gonna let you start here.
I had to actually double check this to make sure too. No, they actually did fight at bantamweight
Okay, well,
for the
this is
Invicta. Yeah. So, from what I understand, Aspen Ladd, her diet has been better this time. She hired a meal prep company to keep her in check. So I don't think we have to do like a catch weight situation. So here's hoping, you know. Um, but yeah, I think Aspen has this one again. I mean, she destroyed Tanya Evinger. She took out Lena Landsberg. I mean, she's been looking really good in the UFC. And Eubanks, well, we haven't seen her in a while. She has win over, Roxanne and Lauren Murphy, but this is Aspen. She's a little tank, man. So we might see like a finish, ground and pound, KO or something, because that's what she likes to do. So my money's on Ladd, and she's actually the favorite in this fight.
Yeah, there's nothing between this fight and the first fight that makes me think that it will go any differently. Ladd is who she is, and she's a better version of it. Eubanks isn't the youngest fighter on the roster. She's not old, but
Mm-mm.
she has limited experience, and she's not at a great age.
Yeah,
And it seems,
34.
yeah, and it's 34.
34 and 24. Yep, 34 for
Oh
Eubanks and
shit! I thought she was like 31, 32. Holy shit! Never mind. So she's definitely not in her prime. There's a 10-year age difference, and everything that Sajara is good at, Ladd is better at. So Ladd's taking this. I just wanted to talk about this fight, to talk some shit, and the fact that I'm still mad at Aspen for cutting Leslie Smith. I know that was the UFC's fault, but I can't totally blame her. I will never forgive her for this shit.
oh, salty as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
Man, that's insane how that happened. But at least Leslie's happier. It seems like, she signed with Bellator, so hopefully we'll get to see her up here in San Jose when they have another event.
Yeah, happier getting her little Honda jacked in Oakland.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I still think it was just bleed. I think he even admitted to as much.
Oh my god. God
Yeah,
damn it.
I'm looking at you, just bleed.
Mexicans like Hondas?
Okay.
I thought it was the Asian thing.
No, okay, you just brought it. Okay. All right, you're in my neck of the woods now. I don't know about over there, but over here, Honda Civics are some of the most carjacked vehicles because apparently they're very easy to get into and to hot wire or to, I don't know, they're very easy to break into and to start basically.
Yeah, the old school ones.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Mhm. So, yep,
Same.
that's
Easy to
that's
work
a
on.
that's a
Aftermarket parts.
God damn, Rain, I think you know more than me.
Hey man.
Yeah,
I
that's
used to have an old Acura Integra. It's kind of like a Honda, so old ass
That's a
one.
luxury version of yeah, Honda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two door.
So so that's your California crime report, folks. So if you have a Honda, don't come over here. We got some bad people around. Anyway, main event time. This one's good. Rafael dos Anjos and Kevin Lee at welterweight, 5-round fight. I had a tough time with this one. I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm leaning. Um, now you know what? I'm gonna go with Lee. Not very confident, but I'm gonna go with Lee.
Same. They really hate RDA, huh? They're giving him a wrestler again.
Look, I think when I first saw the fight and I started thinking about it, I think I first picked RDA, and I kind of was picking him because of his striking. I know Lee's striking is getting better and he hits pretty hard, but RDA is a fucking ferocious motherfucker. But I don't know. Lee's still so young, and I think he's really pissed off after that Iaquinta fight. At least I hope he is. I don't think he's gonna take that fight lying down. He lost to the same guy twice. The guy that he made his UFC debut against, and then lost in one of the biggest fights of his career. So I think he's gonna come back rejuvenated, focused, and I think he's gonna take it to RDA. I think he might get in trouble on the feet here and there, but I think he has enough power to hold him off for the most part. And yeah, I think wrestling wise, I think he's gonna do the business.
Yeah, man, I'm so interested in this fight because if he does end up winning, because RDA is ranked number 3, he's gonna be right in the mix. He'll be right behind Colby Covington, and then of course, Kamaru's the champ, so he'll be right there if he pulls this off. He doesn't have to cut that much weight. He's gonna be coming in healthier. So I think he's going to be a nightmare, man. And you're right. Like, I bet he has that chip on his shoulder. Like, he needs to get this win. I think they're both actually, yeah. RDA is on a 2-fight losing streak, and he just lost to Al. So
Yeah, and then you gotta remember. I mean, I guess technically Lee's lost 2 of his last 3, but you can kind of say he's maybe 0-2 because depending on how hard you want to be on him, he came in overweight for that Edson Barboza fight. I know he looked good, but who knows how much of an advantage that was?
right.
So it's not like he's had a good stretch, even in his win. And then, of course, he got wheel kicked. So
Yeah. So I mean, dude, I'm really excited for this. I'm so interested in this. I want to see what happens because if this works out for him, then yes, definitely stay at this weight class, this division. Because I mean, if you go back down to lightweight, it's so crowded, man. With things going on with that division, it's just too much. And why even like bother cutting all that weight and killing yourself? So yeah, this one I'm definitely looking forward to. And I guess in the betting odds, they're nearly even right now. So who knows what's going to happen?
yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, so both going lead here, right?
Yep, yep,
Okay,
yep.
good enough. All right, let's get into our tweet of the week. This is the most random thing happening on this episode, but it was such a good troll job. Or who knows, maybe this dude's serious, but I had to give him the honor. So Rachel Ostovich, everyone's favorite female UFC fighter, posted a picture of herself looking all pretty as she usually does. And it said, and she posted, "Show me all the parts of you that you do not love, so I know where to begin." And this dude, Bill Kimber at Bill C Kimber, posted a picture of himself shirtless, and he said, "How about all of this? LOL." And yeah, he looks like a slightly slimmer, less hairier version of me. He just went all out. He's shooting his shot to Rachel Ostovich, and god damn it, man, I commend you for it. So you get tweet of the week, my boy.
Oh man.
This is way more of a visual tweet. I know it may not be very funny if you're listening to this right now, but as always, we'll put the tweet in the attachment with the show, and you'll see what we're talking about. And yeah, this dude's awesome. He might be my new hero. Rose just lost this weekend. I need a new hero. Bill, you're that dude.
That shit is funny, man. What did she expect tweeting something like that?
It's one of those. I loved it because he basically just shit all over these Instagram, tell me all your dreams type thing of with a fucking ass shot type thing. It's just this corny ass, senseless Instagram bullshit. And he shot his shot, man. I give him props. No shame, no shame. I fucking respect that.
He's funny, dude, man.
Yeah, give this dude a follow. He doesn't have that many. Let's get this dude up there because man,
Props to
got a lot
him.
more got a lot more balls than me.
Yeah, hand clap. Bravo, man.
Yeah, but we're gonna get into some. There wasn't too much news this week, but it seems like a lot of fucking fights got announced. So that's basically what we're gonna be talking about from here to the end of the show. And Reen, I actually didn't put this on the calendar, and I just remembered right now, since we recorded last Thursday, we just missed Ferguson versus Cerrone. So this was not on the docket, but I'm sure you have some thoughts on it. So I'll let you start with that.
Dude, what a crazy ass fight. That's right, huh? This is a quick turnaround for Cowboy.
And it's well, I mean, I know he did more ass whooping than getting his ass whooped, but I don't think that was exactly the easiest fight because he did take a little bit of damage, but also it's a 5 round fight, man. Those take its toll on you, especially Cowboy's what, 36 now? 37?
Yeah. Oh, and what kind of Tony Ferguson? What version of Tony Ferguson are we gonna get? He's been out for a while. He has
Um,
he has some business to take care of. He's seen some shit, right? Didn't I text you like, dude, he might get murdered? Like Cowboy might get murdered?
I mean,
I'm like, I don't know. Why?
I'm sorry. I'm actually gonna censor myself here. I was thinking of like some really really bad fucked up jokes, but I actually refrained from saying them. Um, I guess I'll just say he's been in a dark place, and I'm sure he's seen some shit. Whether it was real or hallucinated, I mean, I'm sure he's fucking probably seen the devil, you know. And I don't think I know. You know, a lot of people, something like this happens to them, and you get worried and like, shit, are they gonna be the same? I don't see Tony's, his stoicness, his ferocity, his, ice cold fucking, literally, if you see him when he goes in his ice bath, he's totally stoic. His demeanor, I don't think is gonna change at all. So I think Cowboys in for some shit.
Oh my god, dude. Is this 5 rounds? Is this the main event?
Nope, nope. It's a co main event right under Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica I, and
Oh, okay.
under Cejudo versus Moraes. So it's a
Oh,
good card. A lot of people are saying, yeah, it should be 5 rounds, but
whew.
um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this will even go 3 rounds. And if
Yeah.
they can go full clip for 3 rounds, I mean, I know Ferguson could go full clip for five. So if he's gonna put it on Cowboy, goddamn, this is gonna be fun.
I hope Cowboy doesn't come in the same way that he did with Al, because remember in his interview he said that he wasn't even there. He didn't feel like
Yeah.
being there. He didn't even really start until the second round. You really can't do that with Tony, I don't think.
Do you remember the Lando Venata fight?
Mm-mm. I gotta go back and watch it. But
He
this is
got
different Tony though. Like, come on.
he got head kicked and almost knocked out in the first round.
Ah, this is crazy.
I,
DMT trip Tony.
I, I don't think that's changed with Tony. I'm sure that he's still that same guy. Cowboy's a slow starter, and I think Tony may be a slower one.
I don't know, man. That fight with Pettis was wild.
Yeah, but that all that crazy shit happened in the second round after he got
True.
dropped.
That's true.
hmm
That's true. Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I think it's gonna be 2 rounds of madness, and I think he's gonna darce him.
Oh my god, that's crazy, man. This fight does it really make sense? I don't know. Does it make sense?
Well, they're both top contenders. They're both right on the. I mean, Tony should have had his title shot fucking years ago, but
Yeah.
you know, fucking El Cucuy. Well, the real Cucuy, the Mexican boogeyman, keeps getting in there and fucking shit up for him.
I'll watch it, but damn, oh my god. I'm just glad Ferguson's back.
Yeah, let's just hope nothing happens between now and then. It's a fragile issue, And the thing is, I want to say that pay per view is June 8th. Yeah, so that's 3 weeks away. Damn, damn.
What?
Yeah, that's 3 weeks away.
Wait. Didn't they just have
Yep,
didn't they just have the Ottawa fight? The
yep.
Ottawa card? Damn,
Mhm.
dude. Good luck to Cowboy, man.
Yep. This is
They really want to fill up cards, huh?
man. I mean, I really hope they paid him well because if they're going in this short notice, they better be getting paid because this is doing no one a service. I mean, I know guys don't want to go in 6, 8 week training camps, although they should, but man, this is some shit. This is just gonna be a brawl. I don't think you could plan out much in this fight. I think they're just gonna go out and
Dude, I might cry, man.
swang, wang, and bang.
I might cry for danger. Like, oh, I'm sorry about your daddy.
And who knows? I mean, Tony's been at the dark spot. He might go back to his tough days. Where's your son?
What the?
Did you watch the season when he was on Tough?
Yeah, I don't remember. There's
You
so many
remember that part?
things I don't remember. There's too much, man. I'm like fucking Joe Rogan. There's just too much shit. I have
Do
to
you
like let
remember
go of
that
some
part
shit.
where he got drunk and started talking shit to one of the dudes?
Oh my god, I gotta go back and watch it. I
Oh,
saw
you'll
all of
see.
them.
He gets drunk, and I guess one of the dudes had like lost his son in like a custody battle. And he's like, "Where's your son? Where's your son?"
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, I hated Tony Ferguson for fucking ever for doing that shit. But yeah, he might just pull that shit out for Cowboy.
It's so dark, man.
Yeah, that's not good. The other big fight announced. Max Holloway, another quick turnaround. Max Holloway is gonna be fighting Frankie Edgar at
Who?
UFC 240. Yeah,
Who?
Frankie Edgar, that guy.
What?
The answer.
Who? I'm like, he's been out of the light for so long. I totally
Hey,
forgot he was still in the mix, man.
hey man, he's another guy who's not the youngest dude. I'm sure he needed some time off, and nobody was expecting this. And then Brazilians got to Volkanovski, and they poisoned his blood, and here we are. I can't believe Holloway took this fight, though. I,
Um,
I know he's a warrior, but Jesus, man,
Short notice. Well, not
you
short notice, but it's only a 3-month break,
you
really.
were in a fucking war, easily the most brutal war of his. That was harder than. Well, yeah, because the Ortega fight went only 4 rounds. He went 5 rounds with Poirier and lost, and got rocked badly several occasions.
Yeah, it was all bad, man.
I'm not giving an official prediction here, and I'd never knew back in the day. I favored Holloway. Holloway. I thought Edgar would have a chance, but I think Edgar's chances have gone up substantially. And Edgar has power here and there. I don't think he'd knock Holloway out, but he's tricky, man. He's a crafty veteran. I think this fight's gonna be close. I don't think it's gonna be a shutout for Holloway.
God damn, why so soon? They really trying, huh? They really want to fill up all these cards. I don't
And
like it. I don't like it. It's too soon, I feel, but here we are.
and speaking of filling up cards, a card that we're supposed to go to, Nate Diaz is supposedly back versus Anthony Pettis, 241 in Anaheim. Um, I don't think there's much else to say, and I think just say cosign if you agree. I see it when I believe it, and when the door's locked.
Yeah, that's nice. Next. Like, what do you say to that, man? Look, man, all right. It'll be a 3-year layoff. 3 years since we've seen Nate. Prior to that, it would have been a 2-year layoff because he was supposed to fight Dustin, but he got hurt and pulled out, and shit happened. So there's a pattern here. So I don't fully trust it. I want to get excited. I really, really do, but I just can't because there's this pattern.
Speaking of patterns, you know who else fits this pattern of pulling out?
Who?
Pettis.
Oh, god damn it, man.
How many?
Well,
You
he's
remember
been doing so well, though. I know but
he has a history of this.
yeah.
Dude, fight. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna go down that route, but fucking fight Gaethje. Fight that dude's not gonna pull out. Fight someone that just doesn't pull out.
Yeah, I don't get it because he's in that mix. He's up there again. You know,
It makes all the sense in the world because Pettis is done cutting weight. He's fought everybody. He says, "Fuck it, I'll go up to 170 and make some money fights." Diaz seems to be on the same boat, and he also has fought everybody at 155. It makes all the sense in the world, but until I'm in my seat, the music plays, Tupac comes on the fucking loudspeaker, and he's locked in there with fucking Mike Beltran in the center of the ring. I'm not gonna believe it.
I just don't get it. He's number 8. He's right behind Wonder Boy. I don't understand how that happened when he knocked out Wonder Boy, but some of these rankings don't fucking make sense. But he's right there in the mix. He does want to fight Darren Till. Shit, I wouldn't want to either. Masvidal, RDA, Colby, like Tyrone, like yeah, just the money grab, right?
Yep.
All right, well, there it is. Again, I want to get excited, but shit, man, it's gonna be in Anaheim, dude. I think Kron is trying to get on that fight too.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yep. So, who else is trying to get on that card? Is Ortega trying to get on that card, or is he going to be on a different card?
I
Is
think
that
they have a fight lined up,
okay?
or they're close to it, but I forget who and I forget where.
Okay. Just wonder like how many more like SoCal fighters are going to try to pull into this.
Hopefully they bring Cat back. A revision's fine. I know you're well. Actually, you do like Cat, but So
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, she's a San Diego girl, and I haven't seen her since she, you know, threw herself into Ronda's loving arms.
Wonder Cat and Chris, because Chris has been like kind of
Oh no.
teasing a fight announcement or some kind of announcement soon.
Reen, I know we're trying to go. I hope we both go, and I hope we sit close together. I hope we manage to do all that. But just know if that's the fight, and if Cat wins, you're gonna be deaf for like the next 3 days.
Great.
I mean, I guess it'll probably be the same.
Earmuffs,
Chris
bitch.
wins, but Jesus, man.
Earmuffs, earmuffs.
Uh, my favorite female fighter against a girl I've never really liked. Yeah, it's gonna be some shit. But
Dude,
I know the likelihood of that happening. So
I hope they pull some fighters from SoCal. Like, I wonder if is Panay still available?
I don't know if all the drug stuff is pulled out, and then no, Angela Hill could be good. Um,
Yeah, I thought she just had a fight, but
I
maybe she
hope
can
they
take
don't pull out. I don't hope they don't bring fucking Esparza.
it.
I don't need to see it.
Yeah, that'd be awful. Sorry.
Yeah. But moving on to one. I know it's rare to talk about one actual fight card, but actually having a card in a few hours here. Main events Shinya Aoki and Christian Lee, but that's not really what we're looking at. Nikki Holston is fighting for a championship, kickboxing championship, but there's also a kickboxing featherweight Grand Prix tournament. And goddamn, do they got some monsters in here? Giorgio Petrosian, Yatsen Clay, uh, Andy Sauer was in, but I don't know what happened to him. He's not appearing on the card, so who knows if he pulled out. Joe Nadawat. There's just some fucking monsters on here, man. And Gary Tonon's also fighting on the prelims, and this one's actually these are supposed to be free on Facebook and Twitter, so you guys might want to check that out. Hopefully, it's out in time by the time the podcast comes out. But what do you think, Green? Seeing the little bracket, this kickboxing thing. What do you think about the tournament?
Dude, this is so cool that they're doing this. God.
And $1 million for the winner too. They just announced
What?
it. Yeah, they just announced that early in the morning or yesterday. That was like a last minute thing. Like, oh, by the way, the winner gets $1 million.
What the hell?
It's all that agent money.
Wow, they're doing a whole PFL thing.
Yeah, basically.
Damn, man. So cool. So I'm trying to find what time does it start? Where? When?
I see times here, but I think it's in Singapore time. It says 5 p.m. 5 p.m. for the prelims, but like I said, that could be Singapore time, and I don't know how that translates.
Oh, okay. I gotta figure that shit out.
Yeah, do some homework there. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Speaking of, just a quick thing, so we didn't talk about earlier. PFL. I know you said that. You reminded me. Just quick, what did you think about Kayla Harrison, Sarah Kaufman, and if you want to mention Ray Cooper in there?
Dude, it was cool. I watched the Kayla Harrison fight. Larissa, is that how you pronounce her name?
Well, it's just Brazilian, so I don't know if it's Larissa or Larissa or yeah.
Larissa? I think it's Larissa Pacheco. She was like a former UFC fighter.
She got the
Um,
shit kicked out of her by Andrade. Yes,
yeah, but
she did knock out Irene Aldana though. That was Aldana's first loss in Brazil, so that's why Aldana was saying that she was scared to fight in Brazil. It's because of her.
well, she gave Kayla problems, and I guess Kayla wasn't happy with her performance. It sounded like she was in her head, and that's why, in her own head. I mean, that's why she didn't perform so well. So
I also think that Larissa, she was doing good on the feet, and obviously that's where her strong suit was going to be. But I also think that she just wasn't giving Kayla a lot to work with, because especially on the ground, I think she just held on for dear life, and she never even tried to fight off the takedowns. She went for that sub attempt in the second round, but I think she was just like, as long as I survive, it's fine. It looked like she was fighting not to lose more than to win. So I think that's also part of the reason why Kayla had problems.
yeah, that back take, and then I mean, Kayla got out of that.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah, so yeah, I just wonder like. who are they going to like be matched up with? I guess Sarah Kaufman would probably be the one that Kayla will see at the end.
Yeah, most likely, yeah. And I mean, she's in the lead now with the points because she actually got to finish. Good, beautiful arm triangle that she got on that
Yeah,
chick too.
she loves doing that.
Yeah, she's a strong girl, man. She looks healthy. I thought she'd look kind of tiny because she's not like the tallest girl, but she looks thick, man, and
Yeah,
in
she
all the
said
right
it's.
ways.
Yeah, she said that it was right at her weight. She didn't have to cut much at all. So,
Nice. Yeah, I think she was
yep.
like 153.
So, yeah. So good for her, man. She's all happy. Hopefully, she'll win that $1 million. I'm rooting
Yeah,
for her. Sorry, Kayla.
for Kaufman.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know if you saw the Gina Fabian fight. Man, that girl that beat her is good though.
No,
Like,
I didn't get to see that one.
and it was so cool because she's also a Muay Thai fighter, so it was basically a Muay Thai fight with MMA gloves, just
Yeah.
clinching, elbows, knees. Oh no, I don't think they allow elbows, but yeah, a lot of knees, kicks. It was awesome. Bobby Joe DeZiel, I believe is how you pronounce it. She's good. She's good. She's a tough ass chick. Really, it was a close fight. She didn't get her ass kicked, but it was a close fight. And then yeah, Ray Cooper the third, man. Most gangster motherfucker probably ever. He's up there with Max. So just goddamn, man, you're fighting your cousin and you're gonna disown him. That's some gangster shit.
Dude,
Props to that
for $1 million, I'll fight my mama.
guy. uh, as Derek Lewis said, I think to DC before they fought, like, man, you don't really want to fight me, like, motherfucker. I'll fight anybody for money.
Yeah, there's some really bad blood there. Like he was being interviewed by like James Lynch, and he's just like didn't really want to talk about the whole family drama, but he did, and he's like, yeah, he's not really my cousin, he's not even blood, and blah blah blah. And he just has that name because he was adopted in, and he's talking all kinds of mess, and he was just so upset.
And I don't know many Hawaiians, but it seems like they're all pretty close. Like even if they're not like neighbors, they all seem kind of like, oh, they're all kind of ohana, as they say, you know. Like
Yeah,
you're Hawaiian, you're cool with me, you know. No
yeah,
real beef, but those motherfuckers hate each other.
yeah. Like because it just caused so much drama with his mom and his whole family, like him fighting this his cousin and his cousin talking so much shit on social media. I guess he doesn't really get on, Instagram and things like that. He would hear about it from other people, like, yo, bro, he's talking shit about you. And that just stirred up a whole bunch of shit on the back end with his family, and he wasn't having it. So when he got that choke, yeah, he wasn't going to let go. He was trying to teach him a lesson. Like, that referee had to, like, basically fight him off.
Save his life.
Yeah.
What
So,
one more thing too is that I totally forgot about this is that Ray didn't even have to take that fight. I guess he missed weight, so he could have just walked and taken
yeah.
3 points. And he
Yeah.
said, "Fuck you, I'm taking."
Yup. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. His cousin missed weight, man. What the fuck? How you gonna talk all that shit and start all this drama and then miss weight?
I know I'm not a fighter, but I know I wouldn't take kindly to anyone missing weight. But if it was my cousin and I already didn't like him, fuck that fool, man.
Yeah, for real. So he got his ass whooped.
And then, oh, the last thing we didn't mention is Bellator. So, what do you think of MVP's legs?
Dude, man, can he do something about that? Because seriously, I'm not joking. I was staring at them the entire time. Like, how does he stand on them little twigs?
Just flailing like a fucking bag in the wind.
Dude, and then when his leg got kicked out, I was laughing my ass off. I'm so sorry. I, I don't know. It was satisfying to watch. Is that
You
bad?
know, you know what it looked like when he fell? Have you seen videos of like little kids like on the snow slopes and someone comes with a ski and just fucking takes
Yeah,
their legs out from under them, fucking flip
yeah.
around like 3 times? That's what it looked like.
Oh man, it's just so satisfying to watch him get knocked out like that. I'm so sorry for saying that, but
Is it
and
is
I
it
was
just me? Sorry, go on.
no, no, go ahead.
Is it just me, or does it seem like everybody jumped off the MVP bandwagon? I feel like he had so many fans just a few weeks ago, and it seems like the second he got knocked out, everyone's like, "Yeah, fuck that fool. I'm glad he got knocked out."
I think so.
I haven't seen one person sad about it. I think like, well, he has fans. You think his fans would have been like, oh man, that sucked. But
Yeah.
everyone seems happy about it.
Yeah. So see, I actually had MVP winning against Daly, but I definitely picked Lima over MVP going into this. I'm like, he's gonna get knocked out. I think I mentioned that on the last episode. Like, I think he's gonna get knocked out. I think we're gonna see a finish by Lima.
And I think I was saying that there's no way this goes to a finish, and well, there you go.
The
But
second round, crazy
yeah,
man.
but I did say that Chandler Pitbull was gonna go to a finish, and a lot of people seemed, perplexed. I think it was a good stoppage. How about you?
Yeah, I didn't see it until this morning actually. So I got to see all the Twitter, comments and shit like that, and so I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? I saw no problems with it because it looked like he was out. He was out for a second, and then he came to.
I think the only reason that people are upset, like if I can't say, I mean, it's a subjective thing, and it's really just your opinion. But I think another reason of why a lot of people were saying that it was bad was that it was a championship fight, it was a high stakes fight, champ shit, and there's a lot of bad blood there. So I know Chandler was not trying to find a way out. I mean, even if you hate Chandler, you know that he was trying to fight back, but he got hurt, man, and he got hit in the temple. Those aren't a shot. That's not a shot that has to hit you clean. So as long as it hits you, the right spot, you go down. And the sucky thing is that you're awake. You know what's happening to you, but you can't do anything to stop it. So,
Crazy man. Yeah.
uh-huh.
So do you think Bellator's happy with these wins? Because I mean, MVP is somebody that they wanted to really market, and I think he's really popular in Europe, right?
In
If I'm not
England, in
mistaken. England.
England, yeah.
And then Chandler is basically the face of Bellator.
I mean, I think you kind of got to make Patricia the face now.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like nobody really cares about the Pitbull brothers, and I'm not really sure why.
Yeah. Well, I hope they like do something with that then. But yeah, it was good. I think these two fights were actually like it was more exciting than 237.
Um, I don't know. I don't have the same feeling about the Namajunas fight as you, although it did kind of break my heart. I thought it was really exciting, and I didn't really care that the legends were losing. I mean, I
Yeah.
was a bit sad for Aldo, but not that much. So
Yeah.
I did enjoy it though.
So you think
Um,
Bellator was the winner this past weekend or UFC?
Bellator just because the stakes were higher. There was one
Yeah.
high stakes fight. It was Namajunas and Andrade, and this one MVP and Lima and Pitbull Chandler were just as they were uh equally Jesus, why can't I find the word? They're equally high stakes.
Right. Well, congrats, Bellator.
Yep, for sure. And so some more matchups. Just a quick run through. So a few fights got announced for UFC Sacramento. Nico Montano's going up versus Sarah McMahon. She's going up in weight and fighting the newly once again mother Sarah McMahon. What you think about this one, Rain?
I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about it later, but it's just interesting to me. Like she's been out for what, 19 months, Montana?
Yeah, she hasn't. Yep, she beat Roxy at the
Damn.
tough fight. Yep, and that
And
was
then,
it.
and then Sarah's, yeah, she had a baby back in December, I think it was. So, but she's been like working out and she's been competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments. So I mean, she's been staying active. So it's going to be interesting.
Mhm. Um, Ryan Hall is fighting Darren Elkins. That
I
fight just seems like madness to me.
I roll.
You
I
don't
roll.
like Darren Elkins?
I don't understand why he's still fighting. He's taking so much damage. Well, shit, his nickname.
As you can tell from that horrible tattoo.
God damn it! Like,
You
how
know
much?
how hard it is to outdo Alan Belcher's Johnny Cash tattoo? He did it in fucking spades.
I just, I at least with this fight, he won't take that much damage, I guess, because Ryan Hall, he'll just probably like
Unless he tears your
sub.
knee up.
Yeah, I was thinking that, like, you'll just fuck your knee up and yeah, you'll be out for a while. But at least you're not taking any trauma, like head trauma.
Yeah. One more fight for UFC Sacramento. Another hometown girl, Cynthia Calvillo, is fighting Livia Renata Souza. Man, that's a grappler's dream. If you're a fan of grappling, that's gonna be an interesting ass fight, man.
It's interesting that she took this fight because, I mean, it's an unranked opponent. She was looking for somebody that was, higher ranked because she wants to get a shot at the title eventually. So, yeah, I mean, it could either be really bad for Cynthia or, yeah, I don't know, man. Whew. She just wanted to fight, so well, there you go.
There you go. Yep, that's a hell of a fight too. And a few fights. UFC San Antonio is happening in July. Yeah, it's another July card. Both of these events are happening in July. And we have Liz Carmouche is fighting Roxanne Modafferi. I know you're a big fan of Modafferi. I think you're cool with Carmouche too, right?
Yeah, I love them both, and I was like hoping that they would get matched up, and here it is. So
Yeah, that's definitely a fight I got to think about because it's hard to know because our Carmouche is an athletic, tough wrestler, but Roxy's the crafty veteran and submission specialist. So if
mhm.
Carmouche gets subbed, I wouldn't be surprised. But if Roxy gets out muscled, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah, yeah. So good fight, good fight. I like it.
And then my girl Irene Aldana, she's coming back, quick comeback against Raquel Pennington. Man, I don't know if Pennington's gonna be the same after that Nunes fight, but I think this is an excellent fight for both of them. I think it's gonna be super exciting.
Damn, we haven't seen Raquel in a long time, right?
She fought Duranda May in November, that the 25th anniversary card.
Oh, okay.
The yeah,
Oh,
you
so
know, like
she
you,
had that knee issue prior to that.
mm,
Then. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another badass fight there.
I mean, I'm going Aldana. I'll never go against her. I think the only time I was really, really, I mean, it was an excellent fight, so I didn't really care. But I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, is when she fought Leslie Smith. These are basically two of my favorite female fighters, and it ended up being a hell of a fight. But yeah, you can't fuck with Leslie Smith, man.
Dude, good for her for like getting this fight because if she wins this, she's gonna be up there. She's gonna be at least top five.
Yeah, yeah, I think she has to be at that point. I mean, it's not like bantamweight, you know, fledgling with. It's not like it's fucking packed with talent. So yeah.
Mhm.
But that does it for MMA. We're gonna go into our news story of the week, and our news story is it's gonna be to all you Game of Thrones nerds. You're not gonna like this one. A petition to remake Game of Thrones 8th season offers a revealing glimpse of wider fandom backlash. And basically, a bunch of these fucking nerds are all mad that Game of Thrones isn't ending the way that they wanted and that it feels very rushed. So they signed a petition on change.org to get better writers to rewrite the season.
So fucking sad, man. Like I don't understand. Like y'all goddamn adults want you actually have do you guys have a petition to change this shit? I don't get it, man. Like 500,000 people signed up for this.
If you guys couldn't tell, Rena and I aren't the biggest Game of Thrones fan. I've never seen an episode. I
Nope.
don't care, and I don't understand why anyone's involved in this shit.
It's too much time. Like you're investing a lot of time into this shit for real. How many seasons is it now? 8 or 10 or
I
some
think like
bullshit,
8. I think 8. Yeah.
right? And then there's like a 2 year like span there where they didn't have any episodes.
Yep. It
For
took
real,
them 2 years to make this shitty season.
for real, you guys waited all that time
Mhm.
and still invested, and then you
Mhm.
guys are upset because it's like going downhill fast. You only get 6 episodes this season, and the last episode is what, this Sunday.
Mhm. It's ending, and I couldn't care less.
It's like it's your fault for investing time, man. Like we've had this over and over again with previous series. Sopranos is one. Sons of Anarchy was my favorite. That's why I just was like, fucking, I'm not gonna invest time ever again because we had a bullshit ending with that. Dexter is something that I was watching. I didn't finish it. And I heard that was, and it ended with the bullshit ending. So,
And
nah.
I'm
I
and I'm
stopped
just
investing time with fucking shows. That's why I just watch sports. That's it.
and I'm just over here sitting quiet because I don't watch television. The only show I've watched in like the past couple of years is Yellowstone. That's the one I'm excited to come back next month. But
I don't
other
even
than
know
that,
what that is.
it's on Paramount. It's about like rich cowboys basically. It's a weird show. I'll send you a link later.
Okay.
And if you guys listening, it's a decent show. If you guys want to watch something good, watch that one.
Is that
But
Cowboys with Robots?
no, I'm not. No, that's Westworld.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch it either. No,
See,
no,
I don't.
it's about like a guy. Like it's kind of like a somewhat true story about the guy that owns part of Yellowstone National Park. Yeah, he's like some rich cowboy dude. He's like it's all politics and gangster shit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I don't
Okay.
watch TV. That's like the only show in decades that I've watched. I really am. To me, it has to be real. So I watch fighting and documentaries. And
It
that's
has to be
basically
real.
it. Movies I'll watch all day because it's only 2 hours or 3 hours at most of my time. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna invest days and weeks and years of my fucking life to some bullshit ass show. So
Right.
all of you that are sad, your fucking tears, your anguish sustain me.
It drives
I
me
don't give a
nuts,
fuck.
man. It drives me nuts. I see it. People are so excited. Like on Sundays, like I see my Twitter feed and I'm like, fuck. I toss my phone. I'm like, I can't stand this shit. You guys make fun of me for like watching wrestling. I watch wrestling and fighting. And then I have to watch cartoon shows and shit because of my kid. I have a little kid, right? Or I play Nerf guns, or I study. I still study. I educate myself. I ain't got time to be sitting there like watching some bullshit. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, and they tweet like every 6 seconds, like, oh, somebody just stepped in the room.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just, it's gonna be the biggest case of like mass blue balls come Sunday night, and I'm just gonna be laughing over here.
I know, right? I can't. I'm gonna be watching Money in the Bank. I think that's this Sunday too. So yeah, you'll probably be like seeing me tweet that, but I'm gonna try not to read the GOT Game of Thrones tweets.
Oh, you fucking dorks gonna be all sad and shit. We laugh.
Nope.
But anyway, well, that'll be added to the links of the show as well. But anyway, that's gonna do it for us tonight. So Rain, I want to thank you once again, as always. Plug your stuff. Let them know what you're doing, where you're at.
I am at Instagram and Twitter. Fox with you. I know I haven't been online a whole lot, but yeah, I'm still around. I'll be stalking and reading your shit. So
Yeah, good.
and shaking my head sometimes, but y'all are entertaining. Some of you guys are very entertaining. Some of the other people, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why are you like attacking this girl for? Like, what's really going on? And you know what I'm talking about, Juice.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at juice_MMA. I wanted to plug my article real quick because I wrote it after the show last week. I did an interview with Alessia Zapatella, Invicta fighter, Invicta atomweight fighter. We talked about the fact that atomweights are not in the UFC and what she thinks they can bring to it. So that was what that was about. I think it's still pinned on my Twitter page. You could check that out. And you could always check out juicemma.com. It's the first article that'll be up. And she actually got a fight announced too at Invicta 35. She's going to be the co-main event. She's going to be fighting UFC veteran Vivian Pereira, and that should be a good fight. Two little fire plugs going at it. Of course, I'm favoring Alessia, but yeah, that should be a good fight regardless. And that's a fight. That's a card headlined by Deanna Bennett and Karina Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a Mexican fighter, so I'll be pulling for her on that one too. But yeah, that does it for my stuff. And you, as always, you can find the podcast page at iFoxWithJuice on Twitter and Instagram. And rate us, like us, subscribe, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere you can find us, we'll be there. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next week.
Fuck GOT. Bye.